Well, a very good morning. Welcome to ET Now. You're watching Market Cafe with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Shreyansi Singh, where we'll get you updates from around the world ahead of today's market session and also share with you the stocks to keep on your radar today. Well, speaking of stocks, the overnight handover from Wall Street seems very positive yet again for the third consecutive day. What are you picking up, Shreyansi?
Well, absolutely. That just about sums it up. When you take a look at this S&P 500, you do have a slim gain coming in there, rising just about 0.2%. That's where that index was at. And Dow Jones as well, that added just about 4 points. Just a little bit of an uptick coming in there, if you can even call it that. Nasdaq Composite, then that's the one that rose 0.5%. It was the third straight positive session for the three major averages. So that's where a little bit of a silver lining is there, because stocks did close slightly higher despite the release of consumer confidence data as well, showing that US consumers' near-term outlook on income, business, job prospects dropped to their lowest reading in 12 years. So that was where some resilience was being seen. Traders, in fact, will also be watching out for February's preliminary durable goods order as well. So that is also something that we're keeping an eye on. Other than that, of course, you do have hopes of softer Trump tariffs, that April 2nd deadline as well. That is looming around the corner. That's also something that we're looking at, but not much of a change, Kanishka, as far as oil prices are concerned then, right?
That is absolutely correct. Well, oil prices were very little changed on Tuesday after Ukraine's President Zelensky agreed to truce with Russia, covering the Black Sea and energy infrastructure. Though crude prices drew support from the prospect of tighter global supply due to threatened US tariffs on countries buying Venezuelan production, Brent crude rose about 3 cents to close at $73 a barrel, whereas the US WTI crude fell 16 cents to settle at $69 per barrel. Now, these moves come as Zelensky said that the truce was effective immediately, but that he would seek more weapons from US President Donald Trump and sanctions against Russia if Moscow broke the deals. Now, the US has reached separate agreements yesterday with Ukraine and Russia to ensure safe navigation in the Black Sea and to implement a ban on the attacks by the two countries on each other's energy facilities, according to several reports. Also, Trump's threats of tariffs against countries importing oil and gas from Venezuela has raised supply concerns, and both benchmarks rose more than 1% on Monday following this announcement. Now, in terms of gold prices, the safe haven demand has been supported amid uncertainty over Trump's tariff plans next week that could potentially boost inflation. Now, spot gold was up 0.3% at $3,020 per ounce, whereas US gold futures settled 0.3% higher at $3,025 per an ounce. Now, gold, which is traditionally seen as a hedge against geopolitical and economic uncertainties, has risen more than 15% this year. And remember, it reached an all-time peak of $3,057 on March 20th.
Well, absolutely. That's something to look at.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.